want to see what my cat looks like. Camera.
Oh, we're gonna knock over a drink. Welcome to the Baking It Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. We're your hosts, Corey and Heather.
Before you sell them a car,
I just feel that they missed me for the last.
Yeah, I'm going to call this podcast "Return of the Twith."
Return of the Twith.
I didn't watch Star Wars that much. I'm more Star Trekkie.
Yeah, you were Star Trekkie.
You too, if you want to. So bad. You have to tape your hands for a whole day. Yeah, it's a podcast, and Corey is finally back.
I am back. Today is my 2-week anniversary for post-op. I go into the doctor's. She's going to check everything out, make sure I'm good to go.
How do you feel? Judging by you power walking the mall, I'd say fine.
I want to say, I think mentally I'm still in my 20s because I thought it was going to be just an easy breezy, get me in there, get me out. I'll be up and about a day later. That was untrue.
I have a bone to pick with bodies. You know, you have this body.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, 80 plus years. But just random things decide not to call into work. Like they're like, and they don't have a replacement.
I know.
Your hair color is like.
I want to say the coolest thing though is I've had my uterus for 36 years, almost 37. And it went missing 2 weeks ago. My body has not sent one signal that it's gone.
Let me tell you that this is a question I've been meaning to ask.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you lose weight? Like, did the uterus weigh something?
Barely weighs a gram.
Are you kidding me? A gram?
It was like 3 grams, 3 paper clips.
That's how much it weighs?
Yeah, it doesn't weigh hardly anything.
Wow.
It's just a housing. A little circle.
Worst weight loss plan ever.
Yeah, no. I said we're still weighing the same, still clocking in.
Well, before we jump into today's content, you're actually turning your surgery into a sales opportunity. You've made cookies.
No,
content.
I even said there's not one thing that
guys,
says
I'm a marketer. I'll tell them. So Corey is a baker by trade, and the doctor, Corey made a cute set of hysterectomy cookies for the doctor, which she's delivering today. I told Corey to get a picture with the doctor. She's like, I feel weird. I'm like, marketing is weird. You just have to take one for the team. But you're dropping him off at the doctor today, which I think is it. And then that's how you announce on your page, which you told them you would tell them how you did.
I did. So I did announce it on page. I thought the cookies would be a fun way. Granted, who knows? She could be the doctor that says sugar causes cancer. I might throw them out, which is totally fine. So I did give her a gift card just in case to cover my bases.
Which you'd picked up in a conversation you had complimented someone. She said, it's my favorite store.
Yeah. So I said, I actually sent Heather while I was in the throes of getting better. Can you go get me this gift card from this place she mentioned? I'd never been there, but Heather went and helped the sick girl out.
I did. So you're recovering.
I feel so much better.
0 to 100%. How do you feel?
I think I'm 85%. Like when I walk a lot, I can feel it. Like I feel more exhausted, faster, tireder. I've been sleeping like a baby at night, which typically I don't.
Oh.
Like unable to be awoke. That's because they did say you'll be tired. And I feel tired. Like Nate said, I came up at 8, you were in bed, asleep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I do feel so much better than I did 2 weeks ago. I couldn't even do like a sit-up. It's so crazy how much you use your abdominal.
Well, it's really anything that is leaning forward.
Leaning forward, turning, sneezing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was the worst.
Yeah, we went to Olive Garden and I made some absolutely hilarious one-liners. And Corey's like, please don't make me laugh. It hurts.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I feel so much better. I can still feel swollen, but she said you'll feel swollen for 6 to 8 weeks.
Although I will say, just shy 5 minutes ago, Corey said food bloggers. And she meant to say food bloggers, and you were doubled over laughing as you'd find.
It hurts now. I had to take a med. I take an Advil.
Food bloggers. Okay, jumping into today's content. Here's
the thing. A lot of bakers, first off, I hear you guys like my replacements. Shame on you. I'm back.
Viewership is through the roof.
I'm back. But what we did say, I did want to touch. Me and Heather talked about it. Unfortunately, with the way that the podcast sound equipment goes, it's hard to get that same sound when someone's doing a zoom in. And
nobody understands the audio quality until you hear what this would sound like on a phone.
Yeah, and if you heard it like coming in through someone's computer and then being like recorded through a computer, it's almost like they sound like they're 5 rooms away, and it's harder to do. So what me and Heather are coming up with an idea to do, it's almost like a Zoom interview, and you would upload those to YouTube.
So they'll still sound like a million miles away, but I'll sound nice.
Yeah.
We'll sound nice.
Yeah, so it would just make it a little bit easier.
Right. It'll be good. And I think that people do like the guest
I like
stuff.
Yeah, sure, listening to it.
But it is this extra component of one, schedules, two, people being interviewed, computer setup and everything.
Yes.
But where there is a will,
there is a way.
So we wanted to talk today about content and reach. Now, yesterday I had posted in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, actually got GTP to generate an image. I even asked somebody, like, why is everything Chat GTP touches a shade of yellow or tan?
I think because it's like gender neutral.
Yeah. So one of the commenters was like, oh, I actually noticed the same thing. And I asked Chat GTP why it did that. And it said there was a couple of reasons why it chose to. It says, you guys are saying make a picture or something as if I can see.
Yeah.
It said I can't see. So this is what the pixels would tell me it should be. And he said, I don't know, they said that it was also a neutral thing, and humans seem to like neutral colors. And if you wanted to correct the yellow, just tell it not to.
Because I think if you did everything in pink, it would always have this like girly component to it. But like when we make baby shower sets that are gender neutral, it's always yellows.
Yes, and so it finds its information from the internet, so it finds that. So I had it generate an image of 30 people in a room. Then I had it, and it's so funny. Okay, I want to be like AI. You don't know how to make hands. So I was like, and then it said, now put 300 people put 100 people in the same room. Now I said, put 1,000 people. And it was like, due to the constraints of the room, there's no way 1,000 people could fit here. We need to change the room dynamic. I want to be like, for you to be so scientific and make me feel stupid.
Yeah.
You're making hands with 10 fingers.
Smaller.
Put them on top of each other's circles. I should have been like, disregard the fact that you shoved them in the room. Anyway, so an image of 30 people, an image of 100 people, and an auditorium of 1,000 people, right? You used to do the Business International, the Beaners.
BNI.
And you had to, every week, everyone would have a 10-second intro and one person would have a
10-minute.
10-minute.
So it's 30-second elevator pitch.
10 seconds. Hello, my name's Heather.
A 30-second elevator pitch, and then each week there was a keynote speaker, and they had 10 minutes to really explain about their business.
Now, I'm not massively into Business Networking International, specifically
networking in general.
The cost of it, right?
It was expensive,
but the training, the practice of speaking in front of people, wow. And it's the same people every week, technically. Maybe one or two new people or subs or something.
Yeah.
But standing in front of 30 people really does get your anxiety, like your cortisol spikes. And you're like, wow, I'm kind of nervous here.
Yeah.
I'm talking to 30 people who could potentially buy from me.
I know.
But when we translate that to social media, we're like, 30 people, that's nobody.
Trash numbers.
Like, say, like, I've been posting, all I reached was 600 people. And that's nothing. I'm not sure where my reach went. But if you had to stand in front of a room of 100 people or 1,000 people, CookieCon's 1,000 people. Yeah. We'll just speak in front of them. And
we were nervous. We were a little nervous.
This is a little crazy.
Yeah.
However, on social media, we act like they're dead weight. Like, get out of my way. It's not gone viral, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You're going to see bakers who are content cookie creators. They're not creating sets that people are ordering. They're creating sets that people want to watch. So it'll be like this whole vegetable set, and it's like it looks real. Looks like these veggies are growing from the cookie's base. And that's fun to watch, and it will get a lot of views because that content was created for eyes to see. But when you put yourself up against it, you're like, well, I just did a Lilo and Stitch and nobody liked it.
Yes, and Corey and I were talking about the other day how the viewership, the engagement creates a natural tendency in the marketer to head towards that content. When maybe it's not always the most helpful thing. Now, I found this TikTok, and I'm going to play it here. I'm going to cut it off a little early because he uses the bird. But his name is Dave, and I think he is on YouTube. Let me see if I can find the thing. DAVIDGLU, Glu. So David Glu.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play this. And I thought it was an interesting breakdown of where the content is kind of telling you where the viewership is telling you the content is. So let's see if I can turn this on. Tap it in.
6 things to keep in mind when you're creating content. Number 1, low likes usually means that your content isn't relatable. Number 2, low comments means it's not thought-provoking. Number 3, low saves means there's not enough value in the content. Number 4, low shares means it's not entertaining. Number 5, low views means that you have an ineffective hook.
And number 6 is maybe just the algorithm doesn't like you. But I think that's an interesting translation where we're like, instead of just saying, I got no views, what did you get and what didn't you get?
When it comes to marketing, to look at what someone else is doing and be like, I'm going to replicate that. Your audience is different than their audience. And marketing is always a strategy. So for you to be like married to, I just like to do cookie decorating ASMR videos, that's a strategy there, especially if you want a higher view count. But people probably aren't saving it. People aren't sharing it. And that's okay if that's a part of your strategy. So let's break down some of the strategy that goes into these.
Okay, let's do number one. So low likes means it's not relatable.
I want to say I'm an avid TikToker. I love consuming information on there. I'm not much that I'm going to comment or something. The millennial pause, there's nothing like it.
I can't break myself from it. Give me a pause, girl.
But here's the thing with apps like InShot, or you can actually film in TikTok, you can cut off the millennial pause and actually just start talking as soon as someone scrolls to the video. This week, Facebook told me that my reels were doing better because my audience was watching it past 3 seconds.
Nice.
3 seconds is super important when it comes to your content.
Hook. Right. So when you find, let's apply it to bakers, like content that, actually, I'm sorry, I do not want to apply it to bakers specifically because that's not most of the people listening's target audience.
Yeah, it's the end
It might
user.
be our target audience.
Sure.
So a baker creating content. Okay, we do have the Main Street collab coming up, and I actually think applies well. Somebody had asked when I posted the event, she was like, I did the first collab. I don't get why we're doing these.
Oh, that's funny.
A little aggressive. But I said, hey, here's why. It's content relatable to your specific audience. And then the engagement, the manufacturer engagement to help that content push out to more of your local audience. So when I am scrolling TikTok, I am an end user through and through. I'm not a creator. And I find a video where I can tell it's filmed in our area. Oh, it releases some kind of dopamine in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know exactly what that is.
A video I watched through and through, and I don't even drink coffee. Discovering the best coffee shops in Northern Virginia.
Love to know where these people.
Shoot,
I don't even like escargot, but I want to know where they went. And at the end, she always put where the location is.
Yeah, a lot of times when people are filming themselves and they have the millennial pause, they don't review any of it. It's almost like if you say a lot of ums, it's good to script outside the app so you kind of have a outline of where to go. So I see people be like, okay, so I just wanted to tell you. Sorry, I got a notification at the top of my phone. It distracted me. Those first 3 seconds, you've lost me in those 3 seconds. If we were to come outside the app and be like, here's the video I'm planning to make and have a little bit of an outline. So if we say, I want to do the top 3 coffee shops in Northern Virginia.
Well, apply it to the Main Street Cookie Collab. It's something we're actually doing. They're creating content for it. So now make that for this.
My number one place I go to take my kid.
Okay. In Northern Virginia.
Yes.
Is where you'd get me in the first 3 seconds. So Corey was thinking about doing a donut shop that you like.
Yeah, I'm between a donut shop, a chili shop.
Okay, let's do Yoder's Dutch Delights, right? So for the collab, pretend Corey picks this donut shop called Yoder's. She cookifies their logo. She's likely going to create a donut as well. And then I know she's going to drag me out there and we're going to take the picture, but she's also going to turn it into a reel because why not? We're already there.
Yes.
That's great content.
Yeah.
So here we're going to create content. Why are we specifically talking about reels here? It's a reels world. We're just living in it.
Yes.
However, the collab is a photo. That said, and you guys should consider this too. If you're doing the content, might as well make 2 different versions of it.
For sure.
In the first one, she's going to say, if you live in Northern Virginia, you have to check out this donut shop.
Yeah.
Right there in the first 3 seconds, she is targeting only. She's actually excluding.
I said, if you live in Northern Virginia, that's the area that I service.
And she's excluding people outside of that. Now, it's going to decrease her target audience. Because she said only watch this, but it's going to increase that local reach.
It's going to decrease my audience, but increase my target audience.
Yes.
So we're lowering the bakers that are on there. Bakers in California don't want to know about Yoder's Dutch Delights. So they're gone. You're done scrolled. But who stayed is the people who can actually buy from me.
Okay, so now second, and it's not that every video should incorporate all these. We're just applying it there. So the second one he has is low comments equals it's not thought-provoking. Now, how could Corey incorporate?
Tell me where I should go next. What is your favorite donut shop? I need a coffee to go with this donut. Where should I go next?
You could do something. Yeah, I like that one. Number 3, low saves. It's not valuable enough. Now, I would save if I was looking for a donut shop. I typically save a lot of restaurant recommendations on TikTok in our area because I want to know where I can go someday.
Absolutely. I want to say I see lower saves with this kind of local content when there's not a voiceover. So what the voiceover does is you can explain the parking, and it can still be an aesthetic video. And what people are finding, they get more views when their voiceover doesn't necessarily match the clip. So you can be showing you walking into the building, but you can be talking like there's just street parking here.
Quick cuts that show me, Corey does this a lot, a pan of the room, a pan of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Now think in terms of who do we want to say? We're putting the shoes on of our target audience. If I was going to go to Yoder's, I would want to know how parking is. We live in a very trafficky area.
You'll see a lot of aesthetic videos, and it will be just calming music and like showing inside of the venue. You're not going to get a lot of saves there just because you're not providing a lot of value there.
It's very aesthetic. It's very visually pleasing, but I didn't get any information.
And if you're not comfortable with voiceovers, you can always put that information in the caption from where they're located, their hours of operation, a website.
Push yourself and make the voiceover.
I'm just saying, don't let it hold you back.
Don't let it hold you back, but also, come on, you can talk. You're yakking all the time, just yakking to your phone. If you're worried, like, well, I don't know what to say, write it out and read it. We're not recording our face with a voiceover, so it's essentially your own computer's a teleprompter.
A great thing is if you're on TikTok and digesting local videos and saving them, go rewatch it and see what did they say that made me want to save this video.
Which hook did they use? What got me to stop?
Yeah.
I don't think we got to reinvent the wheel with every piece of content we make. We can just see what's working for other people and apply it. Now, next up in there, that was number 3. Number 4, he says, 3, 4. Low shares is not entertaining.
So low shares, you're going to get a lot more shares with local content, because I would find a coffee shop video and I'd send it to Heather. And, me and Heather are going to take my son to Virginia Beach.
She sent me a car show that's down there. It happens to be the same weekend we're down there. So Corey sends it to me, added to the list of things to do, right? So entertaining could be that type of content that's very funny, right? I'll send an inside joke. It doesn't necessarily translate to the Main Street Cookie Collab. Yeah. However, I saw another baker post in the group. She did the Nicki Minaj challenge, which is balancing on a bowl, and she's holding, and it's funny because they're balancing precariously but holding perfect frame. That would be more entertaining. So people would send that. So if you want to follow those comical trends, it may be a different content bucket. I'm not sure we could make the Yoder's Dutch Delights reel entertaining, but we could make a skit, but that would just be more than I probably want to push myself out to. Number 5, low views is an ineffective hook. Now, this is actually where Corey started with this, and I reined her back in because it was number 5 and not number 1, is how do you get people to stop in the first 3 seconds? Now, the reason why we keep using the word 3 seconds is because that is literally what Facebook's metric is, the first 3 seconds.
It's Facebook and TikTok's metric, both are 3 seconds.
I think it's even on YouTube Shorts. That first 3 seconds, those algorithms are tracking the first 3 seconds. It's not an arbitrary amount of time. It's 3 seconds.
The algorithm works is it will see Heather's endlessly scrolling on social media. It'll serve her, and serve is the marketing term for showing her a video. She has 3 seconds, and typically in the first 3 seconds, people will scroll to the next video if it doesn't catch their attention. If it doesn't resonate with them, they'll scroll on. Those 3 seconds are the money-making 3 seconds. So what can you do in the first 3 seconds that will get them? So let's say if I did Yoder's Dutch Delights as mine, instead of showing the parking lot in my first clip, what I'm going to do is me taking a giant bite of a Yoder's Dutch Delight donut.
Okay.
And that's going to be my opening clip, and that's going to be the hook. What is she eating? What is that? She took the biggest bite I ever did see. It's a hook. It's a visual hook, and there's verbal hooks that you can use. You don't want to miss this spot.
Probably something that would get me is me and my sisters fight over this one place every time we go. Then it turns into the donut shop, right?
Yes.
Why do we want to see drama and controversy? Because we're lizard brain humans who love it, right?
Yeah.
Turn on Kim Kardashian. So Corey's saying, my sisters and I fight over this every time we go. That's the hook. That's the first 3 seconds. A lot of people were like, what are they fighting over? That's why you get a lot of that dating content. What was that lady's series when she was dating the insane?
Who the F did I marry?
And she'll be like, her hooks really got us to go to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. She created a series based off of these hooks.
Yeah.
Really trapped us in there, but it really was contingent on that first video, that first 3 seconds.
Absolutely, which made people stay, and her videos were roughly between 7 to 10 minutes long, and people sat.
She was a very good storyteller.
And stayed for each and every single one.
Now, with this Main Street collab, you may feel inclined to make that first 3 seconds. Hey, guys, I joined the Sugar Cookie Market group. Scroll.
Absolutely.
No offense to myself. Scroll.
At the end of the day, hey, guys, it's Corey with Mixing Boat. Scroll. that is valuable. And what you'll see is people will insert that in the center of the video. So they'll be like, a place you don't want to miss in Northern Virginia. Hey guys, I am Corey with Mixing Bowl, and I go around town and show you the best places. I caught you with the first parts because you're going to stay. And then if you truly need to get your name out there, I'm going to say
I
it.
hate that when it's in any part of the video
and
at all.
subscribe if you like this content.
Right. I feel like that is an archaic method. I think it's a 3 years ago TikTok strategy.
It is. They're trying to say they're like, I follow these people who know the trends, and they say they're trying to sneak it in. So a sneaky way, like if you didn't catch my last video, I went over like saying, go back, follow me.
Right. I don't mind the backwards reference to another video. I do not like the mid-sentence intro. Hey guys, me and my sisters argue over this every time. Hi, I'm Corey with Mixing Bowl Cookie Company. And if you follow me, I'll tell you, like, I don't really like that. For some odd reason, it makes me not want to save the video.
I think you could say it in a way. I could think you say,
Here's
hey,
what I
I'm
would
Corey.
do.
I'm located at Lake Ridge, and I like to show you my favorite spots.
Here's how I make it even more interesting. Here's my sisters and I argue this every time we come here. I'm a baker, so you think I'd know what tastes good, but they always like to tell me I'm wrong.
You could say covertly.
We got it in there,
Yeah.
but we didn't take people out of the specific video we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, as a baker, you're not going to have just 100% around town videos.
You're going to make a bunch of different
you're going to show
content.
you packaging and order and things like that.
That's the magic of creating content is testing. Corey and I were testing something yesterday. I think we were running the Midsummer membership sale, and I told her I'm just posting this because I want to see how it performs.
Yeah.
Because, every time you post content, you can take it back there. Of course, when you're changing a lot of different pieces at one time, it's kind of hard to know.
It's hard to know what's working, what's not working.
In the last cookie collab, the Meet the Baker collab, it was 2 collabs ago, we had to get people to read the caption. So I said, let's write a hook. And if you got my caption template, which was free, it was pinned in the videos, you could have like, I can't believe I'm telling you number 4. Well, as the reader, I'm going to get to number 4.
Straight to number 4. I skipped 1, 2, 3, went to number 4.
Right. That's a hook. Or, guys, please don't think of me any different after you read what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Those things are, you can't do them all the time. The boy who cried drama, right? We can't do
and
drama
I want to
all
say
the
there's
time.
studies coming out where people are doing the same hooks over and over and over again. And people are like, I'm a follower. So this is really weird.
Yeah.
They're not even speaking to their followers anymore. They're only speaking to first-time strangers.
It's so funny. The Rock, do you smell what The Rock was
Dwayne?
cooking? Dwayne Rock. I think it's about 2 years ago. He got hired by some fast food company. I think it's based in California, so I don't believe. Maybe it was Jack in the Box. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But in the videos, he would be like, this is my first time going to Jack in the Box. And then he goes and places an order. But he did it in every video. And everyone's like, this isn't your first time because we just saw the first time.
So
the second
it becomes
time.
inauthentic.
So you got to have that too. Corey can't be like, my sisters and I fight over this at the mall. And we fight over this at Yoder's because it performed well one time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're going to see what hooks work well. So maybe the hook of ambiguity works well. And you could go into that. But I'm not going to say me and Heather fight, me and Heather fight, me and Heather fight.
You could do the different hooks have different applications. You could do an educational hook, a dramatic hook, a list hook.
Yes.
Hey, here's 5 things I would do on a Saturday
A
in
location
DC.
hook. If you're in Manassas, you got to check this place out.
That one's a common one because you
It
can
is.
hear that.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
So to kind of go back through that, it gets pretty frustrating to work exceptionally hard. And you can see these creators are like, sometimes the thing I worked 5 hours didn't do anything. And
Absolutely.
the thing I did in 3 seconds did numbers. So it's to keep that in mind. You have these different content buckets, and within that content strategy, that content pillar, you have different content types. So let's say Corey's doing local businesses. She's going to have the Main Street Cookie Club. It's a fun one. She's also going to turn that into a reel. She's also going to turn it to a post in her community group. She's going to, we still have just the same bucket we're pulling from, but we're creating different versions. Now within those different versions, let's focus in on the reel. She can try it with different hooks. She can create from that one reel different versions of the reel. My sisters and I fight over this. Next video. Guys, if you like donuts, you got to try this place. Hey guys, if you're in Manassas, check out Yoder's Dutch Delights. Now we've taken one piece of content and spliced it 3 different ways.
And not everything is going to pop off. And
No.
you're going to be like, wow, that one did not do numbers. It doesn't mean quit, never make that kind of content again.
It means try again.
The algorithm used to put Facebook Lives at an all-time high. Thousands of people would
This
come
has
to
been
them.
the thorn in my flesh, and I've been lamenting it to Corey. When we first started the group 5 years ago,
Yes.
the Sugar Bolt Bakery lady, she was the first person who said, I'll teach you Facebook
did.
Live. And I think it was on making reels,
It was on, filming videos.
filming videos. When we'd post those lives, hype them up, the exact same strategy I use today, they would pull in 1,000 viewers.
Insane.
A
Numbers
slow
of
day
people.
was 400. I'd be like,
Yes.
sorry nobody watched it.
Yeah.
Now, Facebook has done a massive depreciation of live, so much that they're now deleting them after 30 days. But when I go live, it tells nobody.
If Heather reaches 10, I'm like,
I'm lucky I
way
put
to
the
go.
event up. The event is the only reminder. You remember it used to be like, this person has gone live
absolutely,
in this group.
absolutely.
I knew there was a problem when Facebook's group rules defaulted to do not go live in this group.
And what
And then
happens
the
is
toggle.
the algorithms change as people start using or misusing features. So people would actually go live and stream just a room. There was nothing in it. Like
A lot
we
of
just
QVC style content.
A lot
too.
of QVCs.
Well, a lot of churches.
Yeah, people just following around their life, which is still big on TikTok. Weird. But so they've depreciated lives because the algorithm says we no longer like the way people are using it. People are not responding well to these types of lives. So now we're promoting Reels content.
Not in groups, though. So if you guys have figured out what video content works in a group, you let us know.
Yeah.
I think they're still trying to find their footing there. I think they realize that groups are more of a form-based style.
More of a picture, more of a text
Question.
base. Yeah.
That's why the AI they've incorporated only asks questions.
Yeah, it does.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
Because that's what kind of community groups have moved towards.
At the end of the day, though, none of us are giant celebrities. We're not trying to get a fan base, but we are trying to be seen. So when you have a video that has 30 to 90 views, it can feel like, compared to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who has 7.8 million followers, that our video did not do well. But if one of the 60 to 90 views converted in a new follower who's local, who can buy from you, that is a win.
It's interesting. On the Main Street collab post I made last night, if you guys want to join it, you can. It's free to join. It's a fun little way to get local business. Brenda writes, hey, it's so funny. I get no reach. Oh, it might have been on my group of 30 that post. She's like, I get no reach at all. And she's like, I find it pretty frustrating because I'm trying to do everything we talk about here. And she's like, but on my order intake form, I ask people how they find me. And she's like, the overwhelming majority is on Facebook. So she's like, even though it may not translate to a like or a comment, she's like, and most of the comments are from my family and friends. She said, it is converting. And it's just not something I know all the time. So she's like, it's easy to be sad by the 30, but when the 30 are placing orders, that's a great number.
That's fantastic. I see so many bakers make a video. And listen, I'm in the trenches with you. Making a video, editing it, voiceovering it, making the filters on it and uploading it and have it not get any reactions or any comments is kind of defeating.
It is.
But at the end of the day, if you post a video, Heather said, make a video of the $2 transfer club because it was on sale for $1. Someone commented yesterday on TikTok and said, I purchased the $2 transfer club for $1.
Let's ask Corey that. Would you rather 1,000 views and no purchases or 100 views and a purchase?
Yeah, 100 views and a purchase.
Right. So as small, hyper-local service-based businesses that bakeries are, even though we do produce a product, but kind of it is service-based.
Yeah.
To look at the bakers that are influencers and say, that's frustrating. Look at all their likes. Maybe I need to take my content in that direction. I think you're using the wrong compass.
The wrong compass. And I want to say a lot of us are getting on TikTok. TikTok is the #1 fastest growing follower platform currently.
What Corey's saying is basically it's easier to go viral there than it is anywhere else.
Absolutely. You'll see a lot of cookie decorators making for cookie baker content. So they're saying, here's how I grew my bakery. Here's how I charged 25 million% profit on this. And it's because you can appeal to a large amount. Bakers are worldwide.
Global, right.
So you can get a lot more followers. But here's the thing. What I see bakers trip up and they do is that content did take some time to make. So you're like, well, it performed really well on TikTok. I'm going to share it to my Facebook page, which was literally grown locally. Your audience, your local audience who can buy from you doesn't want to know you charge 200% profit on an order. They don't want to know how the sauce. They don't want to know how the sauce. They don't want to know that you were on TikTok. What does well? Can you believe this customer ordered last night and they expected to have a 16-tier cake and 32 custom cookies? I can't believe it. Customers are the worst. They on your Facebook page do not want to see you lambasting your clients over there. So I see this like people are in a fork in the road. Do I market to bakers to make this kind of content?
Where I'm actually getting traction.
But are they, what are they?
know.
You could be in the Creators Rewards
Traction
program.
is views.
It could be.
My content is being viewed when I do this type of content. That makes me think I should lean into this type of content. However, I sent you a video. I know you didn't watch it. Do you understand the sisters are protesting how you handle TikTok shares?
You've ruined me because you sent me 16 videos I had already sent you. So now I said.
On Sunday night, I go back through my messages.
You got to
You have to reply.
We'll take this offline. We'll take.
Our older sister's also involved in this conversation. I sent you one by Alex Hormozi. Love him or lose him. I kind of think he's inspirational. He started like a gym program. Like he would come to gyms and he would say, I can get you new signups. And he created this kind of onboarding attempt thing, right? So that's how he built the company now worth $100 million. Whatever, they're worth a lot of money. Okay, so whatever it is worked. And then he wrote a book on how he did that gym approach. And if you read it, it makes a lot of sense. It's very sales-based.
Okay.
He's very much like, here's how you handle objections, pricing objections. Okay, so he was like, well, we decided for 30 days we'd make this type of content that we saw was performing so well for other creators. And he was like, at the end of 30 days, I hadn't made nearly as many sales as I had not doing this content. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, the metrics that didn't matter performed great. Mm-hmm. The metrics that did matter, conversions, performed terribly because my content became too broad.
Yeah, too broad. And that's why I see bakers making content for bakers and then wondering, should I make that same content?
That's a lot of effort for that first piece of content.
Yeah, because now you're pulled twice as way. So your Facebook page is local. So you're like, now I got to go to Yoder's Dutch Delights and make a video. But then my bakers over here that have grown on TikTok want more baking content. So your bakers aren't going to care about Yoder's Dutch Delights.
You know what happens is that TikTok content, you're going to be like, well, I'm appealing to a baking audience there. It's not a local audience. Well, I still want to monetize here. So let me create baking content that bakers buy. Now, that is the Cookie College. Yeah. That is where we are.
Yeah.
But I'm also not selling local cookies, so I can focus on just that.
Right.
Now on the flip side, it is easy to get just burnt out by spinning your wheels and seeing 30 views on Yoder's Dutch Delights in Manassas. And then you'd be like, why do I keep having to, even you can go to widespread and now you're a restaurant reviewer locally and not even a baker. Uh-huh. Is that content converting? If the metric is conversions, which means you took a view and turned it into a purchase, that is to me the most important metric on social media. There is a side thing. I went really viral and then I sold out.
Yes.
Okay, that is a strategy, but you have to go really viral.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
I know it's some controversial piece of content.
Or you got lucky, or you hit the algorithm just right, or that one time the way you said it, or that drama you talked about, is it replicable? Can you do it again and again?
She's not necessarily a baker. I don't even know her, but she just ended up in my feed. She like made marshmallows or something, but she had a brick and mortar. And she made a video that said, guys, we're going to close down if I don't get this many sales. We only had $2 of sales yesterday, $4 the day before. That went viral. So you'd be like, oh, that was great. Now, each and every video is kind of like a sob story. Guys, we only made $4.
Because you have to. Because the algorithm said, we're only going to reward you when you're upset.
Yeah. So then people are like, I feel like you're making all these videos. The comment section is turned on her. Like, I don't think you're doing anything different if everything's so sad.
Because it's unfortunate. It was authentic.
It was authentic
in the day. It got rewarded.
And then, unfortunately, people followed for that type of content.
But when it kept happening, then they're like, well, now it's inauthentic. And then the ability for your audience to turn on
it's wild. It's wild.
Pretty fascinating.
If you are a local baker and listening to this, I encourage you to pour into the local content. And there's so many different ways you can do it. I can make the video for my Facebook page, but I can also, if I don't tout and try to break a sales rule, make that video in my #1 Facebook group that gives me the most sales and really create a relationship with the people in that group to even get more sales. So while it may have not popped off on my Facebook page because the algorithms are real, it could have been very valuable in the local community group. And then my name's being shown about. If they click to my profile, they can see that I'm a baker. You know, there's so many different ways. I went to this new place that just opened right now, next to my house called Cup of Coffee. CUPPI. Cuppy Coffee. Very cute. In there, they actually sell macarons. Oh. So if I wanted to, I could sit down and do a taste test of the different flavors of macarons because as a baker, I know what I like, know what I don't like.
Hyper-local content, tertiary, outside of baking, but close enough.
Yeah.
And interesting. The hook. Here, watch a baker review these 5 macaron
Absolutely.
flavors.
And I would stay just to know, one, was the tiramisu one good?
Yeah, so that content, and that's what you kind of see with the collabs. And back to answering that lady's question, what's the point of this? The point of this is to help bakers create local content. Yeah. That with the guide and the support of other bakers reaches more of their local audience.
Yeah, because you're going to find that sugar cookie marketing is where we're based at. The Main Street Cookie Collab, highlighting a store in your town And sharing that on your Facebook page, that is bringing people from your town into your audience, into your engagement, into the little circle. Maybe that store will share it again. It's always going to have a marketing component behind it.
Maybe that store will convert. And back to again, if that's that central focus, I think it can kind of quiet the noise of that didn't get any views.
It quiets it because you're like, at the end of the day, it's not a short payoff of high views. It's a long con
Of money
where I'm creating these relationships. We just did, was it last week? I believe so. Last week we did the Cookie My Logo collab where bakers were cookifying their
own
logo.
logos, yeah.
And there's cakers there. I saw some cakes in my feed too.
They were like, can I have participate? Get your
Yeah,
butt over
absolutely.
here.
So
Get your
yeah,
butt
it's
in
not
here.
limited, but it was showcasing to your audience, one, you're telling the story of where your logo came from, but two, that you could actually do logos for your local audience and get more sales. Like I said in my copy, like, listen, this is great for home shows. Hey, cough, cough for modelers. That's for you. Realtors, open houses. This is a great avenue for you because I want to connect with my local audience. And that's what these marketing things is for. Me and Heather are always going to be big proponents in focusing on local sales. Those are the people that can buy from you. If you want to go viral, by all means, that's a different...
Just have a downloadable ready to go. Don't sell it in my group, but have it ready to go on your link and buy it.
Exactly.
So yeah, back to kind of the overarching theme of this. Content is king. We have to produce content to be relevant on social media. In another world, I wish it wasn't this way. But in the other side, I do like that it forces the hands of business owners to put themselves out there, right? We can't buy what we don't know exists. Okay, so we know I have to make content. What type of content? Do I make something that I think could go viral? Do I make something that bakers would like to watch? We're always going to tell you, focus on local. Try to keep it local. Try to keep it personal. Try to keep it within a geographical area.
Yeah.
That's going to convert well for your local audience. So we just said no to the bakers, right? Then within that content that's now we're generating and it's local, what type of content does that local audience want to see? And you're going to test, and retest. I don't believe that we'll ever reach the point where like, this is the perfect formula. Just keep doing this.
Yeah, because the algorithms are always changing.
The algorithms are always changing. The times are changing. People are changing. Holidays are changing. So while the pieces change, so must the content.
Yes.
Now you can test within that content. Let's change the hook. Let's change the way I film. Let's change the way I talked on it.
Sure.
Let's put the restaurant the very last slide so that they...
Videos with people in it, better than videos of you behind the camera. There's so much testing that is out there before you say, this isn't for me, nothing works.
When somebody comes to the group and they say, I tried everything and none of it worked, I say nothing and I go to their profile and see what everything looked like.
Yes.
And I find that most of the time we tried some of it. And we got frustrated, we said it didn't work. And that is humanity. That is being a real person that's frustrated.
Yeah.
But you gotta take a break, and if that's walking away from the camera for a bit and coming back a couple days later.
Listen, I do it all the time.
Then you gotta hit the pavement again.
Yeah.
Just try it again. So like our older sister, I told Corey, a lot of the content you put out, it's very product review.
Listen,
not so
I
personal.
get a ton of saves. Not a ton of follows.
Because it's not necessarily the content. Corey, I don't necessarily know Corey at all. I do want to buy that thing she just mentioned. So Ashley had said the solution to that is to test more personal content. Corey struggled with it. She said it almost made her have...
I was frozen in front of the camera.
It gave her a mental block. So she was like, I was like, wow, our followers didn't change at all. And Corey's like, I didn't post anything. I was like, well, good.
Yeah.
She's like, got on my own
I said I have to release myself from this thing holding me back.
So our test in more personal content was a podcast.
Yeah.
An interview type, letting people in, and then Corey posted her updates. So there's that. I'm so uncomfortable right now, but how can I broach this?
I've done tons of package and order with me. But this past one, I said, package and order with me. This is for my doctor. And I said, this is a natural segue for me to get more personable, but still do it at the pace that I'm used to.
Right. So it was interesting to see. And then, we had Ashley on the podcast last week, and she was like, this is my first conversational podcast where it doesn't seem like you guys follow a script. Although she came up with a script.
She did.
And it's just kind of seeing what works. Corey said, I don't know that people will like interviews on the podcast. You said that years ago. Amy shows up. Viewership went up.
People love it.
What is the audience telling us?
What would be bad of me is to say, no, I'm not listening to what they want. They don't like it.
But what would also be equally as bad is to say, we're only doing interviews now.
Absolutely.
It's incorporating, slowly adding to the repertoire, not replacing it every time one viewer count.
Yes. And if you're like me and you're slow to change, because it's hard, you can incorporate aspects of it, and
I love
it'll get you
that.
more comfortable with it.
Okay. It took you a while to put your face in front of the camera.
Absolutely.
So her progression was a video where her face is in it, but it's not talking.
Yes, it's just me doing something in the background.
So first it started with just the video. Then it started with a voiceover. Then it started with a voiceover, but she's in it. Then it started with her talking to the camera. And you can see how that, and I assume you're still heading in that direction because it is performing better.
It is a slow progression to that, but I'm getting more comfortable along the way. I don't feel stage fright because I'm not just jumping in head first.
Right.
Where I'm like, millennial pause,
Big toe, warm water. That is a great
how I
approach.
roll. Yeah. So it has been, and I've seen the audience respond well to it.
So what you guys can do, and why I do like these collabs, is it gives you that excuse to be different on your social media.
It does.
The Meet the Baker. A lot of people are like, well, I don't like posting about myself, but I have to because I'm in this collab, guys. Welcome.
A great excuse. Guys, I'm part of this collab. You had to do this if you want to check it out.
Now, I almost have to pull up her name. I got an email about probably, we don't usually do collabs outside of these kind of slower months.
Yeah.
Because it gets a little busy in the holiday season. But she had emailed me an idea for September.
Oh, yeah. And Heather was telling me about this. It was actually good. I'll talk about it while you try to find it.
Okay.
So these collabs, we have one scheduled. This is our second one in a row or third one in a row?
This is the third, yeah.
So third one in a row. And we're like, do we do one in September? Do we not do one? But what did it say?
Okay, this is Lisa Beatty. So I was reading the AI summary of her email. But anyways, she says there's this funny trend going around. I like that.
Yeah.
Of a video. So we're talking about reels of people blindfolding themselves and doing something. I think it would be fun if we had everyone blindfold themselves and decorate a circle cookie. She was like, circles more, everyone has a circle cutter, so I don't spend money. Blindfold themselves and post. And I said, well, this would be a really interesting idea to force us all
to make a reel. Yeah. So this trend was actually big for, like, I saw coffee shops doing it in cupcake decorators because they were, how could you pipe the buttercream and the whipped cream onto it and then put sprinkles on it? So it is a trend that's going around.
Okay, so if they decorated a circle, what would be?
I would say decorate a circle and put a flower on top.
That's a good one.
Pipe of flower. Yeah, because flower petals are bonkers anyway.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we all get a laugh and chuckle.
Yes.
Okay, so I think, back to the concept here. Joining these collabs, while they may not be like totally within, it's allowing you to push your limits. You decorate something, that's cool. It'll be hard to pipe Yoder's Dutch lights if that's what you choose.
Yeah.
But it's pushing your content boundary into a larger scope, but you're also telling your audience, and I always do it in the captions, the caption templates. Hey guys, there's this group, we join collabs with other bakers across the world, and here's one of the challenges that we're doing today. So that's why I do like that. So if it's the Reels Challenge next month, or next month it is the Main Street collab. The September one will be this Reels one. It'll allow you to be like, let me test with my audience. You're already going to get great engagement because that's the
whole purpose behind it. That you have bakers coming and engaging with you, but then you're also getting in front of your audience with new content that's not this polished photo.
An excuse to test.
Yeah, it's just a way for you to test new things with the guise of this group made me do it.
I don't want to tell you the Main Street collab, a little bit more work because you're featuring a business and you're going to write up about the business. We're going to love to read about the business.
Oh, absolutely.
But some of these bakers who have done this in the past, this is our third Main Street cookie collab. Thank you, Lydia, for coming up with the idea years ago. I found her original post, by the way. They're like, this does so well for me. I'm going to do 4 businesses.
I think it's fantastic. I've done one outside of the collab for the lady who does my Botox. And you know what? While she doesn't have a Facebook page, it got hacked. Sorry for her.
Darn it.
She does recommend me in groups because she knows, Corey's a baker. When someone asks for bakers, she'll comment.
Yeah.
So it can work out.
Let's hope your cancer doctor recommends you to.
That's why I was like, she doesn't need to know my baker.
So that is kind of my pitch for the Main Street Cookie Collab. I like that one for corporate orders. If you want to get in your corporate girly air, we'll talk about that more next month. But this is that post I made last night. The 30 people in a room, the 100 people in a room, the 1,000 people in a room. That's a massive amount of people.
I know.
And that content that you don't think is doing, if 30 people bought from you, your August and your September would be booked.
I 1,000% agree. I think people see the 30 people watched, no one bought from that, but maybe one of the 30 people has a birthday coming up in December. So while they didn't buy today in July, you've put it in their mind that I do. My birthday is coming up. I did want to order something for that.
I wish I had like a citation here, but they say, 21 touch points before someone converts?
Yeah.
It's typically why you go to Nordstrom's. You're window browsing. You're not shopping.
Yeah.
But when you go back to Facebook, there it is again. When you go to this other website, it's on the right corner ad.
It's in your email.
And you're like, I didn't even give him my email. How was that happening? But that is how marketing works. It is a low, slow, and consistent. Another thing Alex Hormozy said, I think I sent it to you as well, so you'll never watch it. He was like, be so consistent that there's no way you couldn't win.
And you know what? One thing I gotta commend us both on.
Go on.
We are not the best, but we are consistent.
Yeah, I said I would love to be the best. Sounds cool. One day I would like to arrive there. But being the most consistent, I was telling your son that actually. He came over here on, I picked him up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
He was playing with Munch. And I got in the car and I said, hey, Arch, I'm just going to tell you like two things. Like, you don't have to be the smartest person to be the best. You can be the most consistent, and that will actually make you the smartest person.
Absolutely. The more time into anything. Arch made me a egg sandwich. I am trying to make him more adultish.
Don't worry, I got a picture of every egg sandwich you got.
He was very proud of it. He burnt the egg to smithereens, and I ate it with the happiest heart I've ever had. And he was like, wow, that sucked. I really burnt it. I said, listen, but the next one, it won't be burnt.
But you have to make the next one.
And he made a next one. He was like, something was wrong with bread. I said, yeah. Now you know, you just didn't burn the bread. The bread just wasn't browned enough.
Take Archer's egg sandwich approach to your content.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, that one was burnt. And that one was floppy. Something happened to your bread. It was floppy, he said.
Yeah, it was floppy.
Yeah, and the next one is going to be too buttery. But each time it gets progressively
better. The eggs weren't burnt on the second one. Just the bread was floppy.
One time I had an ex-boyfriend, and I was like, I said to him, if I wanted to, I could be a lawyer.
Oh,
and he was like, no, you can't. And I was like, but I could just put in the work. Even if I'm not necessarily smart, I just have to study longer.
Absolutely.
I just have to show up longer to study, and I could do whatever I wanted.
When I started making cake pops, Heather was like, maybe that's just not for you. I said, girl,
they were literally crying.
I know. I said, listen, I'm
so sorry. Corey wasn't crying. The cake pops were.
They were sweating. I got to get 2 bad batches in me before I start getting the hang of things.
I was thinking that over the weekend. I said, it's so unfortunate that I'm absolutely positive I'll suck at something before I'm good at it. Like, it's a guarantee.
Now
like,
that I know I'll suck before I'm good, I just am like, let me get my sucky one out of the way.
You have to do the second. You have to pay the sucky toll.
Yeah.
You got to pay the sucky toll. And same with your content and same with your viewership. And then you got to realize kind of the metrics that matter aren't always the popularity contest.
It isn't. And it's so hard to put yourself up against the bakers who do make cookie content that are for other bakers because they do get a larger view count.
But they're also... that's their metric that they want. If they're getting paid in AdSense, which is eyeballs, they would want to. And they're saying, okay, I'm getting better and better at eyeballs.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm getting better and better at wallets.
Yeah, at local sales.
And some of that will cross and some of it won't. But if you're a local baker, let's get better and better at wallets.
Yes. Yeah. Our goal, and what makes me sad, is when I open Instagram or Facebook and I see a baker announcing that they're hanging up their apron. It's always that line. I'm hanging up my apron.
It feels like solidarity.
And a lot of times it's burnout. Maybe it's a change of life. But our goal in Sugar Cookie Marketing is to give you longevity in your business. So
I tell Corey, sometimes the most impressive baker, the baker I'm like, wow, that's impressive, is not going to win over the baker that's pretty okay.
Yeah.
And has been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's, the flash in the pan, if we want to take it back to pans and aprons, the flash in the pan baker who's like, I'm amazing and I'm quitting tomorrow. Yeah. I love it. I love what you're able to do. Give me that baker that's like, I'm just going to keep showing up.
What I see more often, because I've been in this now for years and I've seen the industry turn over as it always does, is bakers who have like an extreme talent to decorating cookies. Like they're really good at hand painting, or they love every teeny tiny detail. Like there's like florals on florals on florals. They get so into the weeds of the details because now you're competing with bakers making content for bakers that you burn out. And I always see no longer taking custom orders.
How can you? It's a math problem.
Closed for business, just making for fun.
I tell people like raise your prices. But there is a point at which your price is capped out of your market, right? There's a higher end of that, or something else has to change to be able to. But sometimes when labor costs are so astronomically high, you've priced yourself out of your own market because as a baker, well, that took me. One time I heard a baker and that took me 12 hours for a single cookie.
That's insane.
Well, the cookie costs hundreds of dollars now, a single cookie. can you sell that product? If not, it wasn't the best expenditure of time unless it was for content.
So a lot of times when they do get those, like, this took me 52 million hours to make, they just turn into content creators.
Okay. Now, the bakers that Sugar Cookie Marketing is focused on, and I know people get frustrated in the group when they come and they're like, well, you guys help with marketing. I was just wondering how to make a website for cookie cutters. Because you're no longer in my target audience. My target audience, the Sugar Cookie Marketing's target audience, is to help the local baker make more local sales.
Yeah.
It's always been that. It's always what we're focused on. Yes, we could say, here's this other content, or here's how to go viral, or here's how to do this. Some people will ask me something. I'm like, I don't tell people to market on Pinterest because I don't feel like it helps hyper local sales. And that's our focus. And could we make more money? Could we increase reach? Yes, by putting the group to public and allowing anybody to join with no entry questions and no rules.
Yeah.
But what does that do to our target audience?
It dilutes it. Yeah, it does.
Corey and I said, if we could go back, I asked you this the other day, if you could press a button and remove everyone from the Sugar Cookie Marketing group who does not bake and hasn't baked in 4 years, would you press the button?
Yeah.
Corey said immediately, even if regardless of what the number was, a hyper local target audience is better than a broad audience.
And you'd be like, but twins, 50,000 people in the group, isn't that good? Wouldn't you want 50,000 people aren't buying? 50,000 people aren't even logging into the group.
Frankly, and I'm happy with this, 35,000 people are active members.
Yeah.
That means at one point in the last 30 days, they took an action, or a reaction, or they clicked to the group or saw a piece of content. If I could press a button and remove 15,000 people who never interacted with the group, I would.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times, and why we don't do follow trains in the group, is bakers will build your numbers. They're good at something. They're good at baking.
When I see a follow train thread, it's got 500 comments.
Absolutely. And here's the thing: a baker following you and never engaging with your content is now dead weight. They're holding back your post because if they ever get served that content, which we know served means shown in the feed, and they scroll right on by, that's the first 3 seconds right there. They're just scrolling right by.
Okay, but to even take it a step further, when I was setting up a Facebook ad the other day, and I said, I want to show this to people who already like my page. I want to just be hyper focused. But I'm like, if that was follow train numbers, I'm paying to waste my money.
I know.
Because if I'm a hyper local baker, but I joined a bunch of follow trains, I have thousands of non-local followers, and I'm running an ad to my followers, I'm paying to waste my money.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
The popularity contest, it's distracting. It's
the numbers, glorious looking.
Gloriously. I mean, you'd be like, wow, could you imagine?
My name up in lights.
Autographs everywhere. But on the flip side, that conversion metric is the most important one for the businesses that we try to help.
Yeah.
And you can find a different content creator to help you go viral if you want. I don't think you're going to find it from us. There's plenty of groups and creators and content out there to find that stuff.
Yeah.
But as for me and my house, we will focus on conversions.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what keeps the lights on.
That's
can't
the
pay
most
people in
consistent.
views.
Can't pay people in exposure.
What's so funny is people are like, well, I'm just trying to make cookie content because I get paid off of views through Meta, through TikTok and things like that. But
Did you see they killed the thread views?
Yeah. Meta and TikTok can constantly change the price per view. You could get pennies. Where you were seeing dollars, it can go to pennies. And they can do it, no questions asked. You can't do one thing about it. You can get kicked out of the Creator Rewards program just because someone reported your content. Maybe bakers didn't like you, so they reported your content. It's hard to put all those eggs in that singular basket.
It's a cog. You become a cog in a wheel, and nobody's telling you where to drive.
Yeah. When I see bakers on TikTok with 5 million followers no longer creating content, I know there's some issue there.
Oh, that's what Corey says. If people follow the money, and when people abandon a page with 1 million followers, there must have been no money. Or life change. But the odds of
it, I'm saying 5 million.
If it was paying your bills, you're going to turn the camera on.
A lot of us would be punching the air for 5 million followers. But
well, how can you blame them when you log onto the internet every 5 seconds and it was like, this creator makes $50,000 passive income per month because they just post for 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, shoot, that's much better than my back hurting and my knees hurting because I piped
mixing colors endlessly.
But find your focus, lean into it, and despite all, put those blinders on and just consistently show up so much that it would be almost impossible for you to fail.
If you talk about a cookie class and it gets 2 likes, but you have a room full of cookie class students,
I think you won.
That's our goal.
I think you won.
That is our goal.
Yeah,
right
if you go to Sugar Cookie class, Instagram or Facebook page, right? You're gonna see like they got 2 likes on that.
Yeah.
But my December class is almost full.
Yeah.
Where do I want my glory?
Ego.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, does it lie with the 2 likes? That's not ego based.
No.
Does it lie with a classroom full of students?
That's where I want mine
paying
to be.
$85 a ticket. A little bit.
A bit.
A little bit.
So don't be devastated by
Yeah.
the low reach. Always. It is an indicator of tweaking content.
Yeah, sure.
It's an indicator of adding a content bucket. But don't let it be the thing that takes you to your knees.
Yeah, and you're man, I'm just marketing to bakers now.
I saw someone like, I get no reach on Instagram, so I don't even post it. I don't think that was it either.
Yeah.
I think that there was no reach on Instagram, so you could tweak a few things and maybe incrementally increase that reach over time without the goal of 1 million.
For sure.
This is what Corey comes. Corey will be like, I made all this content and I got, the consistent views. I didn't go viral, but I also can't sell my soul. Corey's like, I could sell my soul and go viral, but I can't sell my soul.
The content that goes viral, I can't make because then I'd get a lot of wishy-washy followers that I don't want.
Right. So Corey's like, if only I could just, take from the crappy content bucket.
A great metric for me that has kept me on the straight and narrow is the saves. The saves means I'm making
educational,
content
right?
is educational. It means I'm making things that people can relate to. Here's a floral tutorial. Here's this packaging supplier I found. Here's how I did this. You save it. You're going to be like, okay, I created something that people find value in.
With the bakers, I would think a nice one would be
Mount.
Shoot. Why?
I don't know. He's gone.
It's so hot. Ruth Ann's house is ridiculous. Honestly, it's all I can think about right now.
Sure.
Now that you said it, I've increased by 10 degrees. But rest assured, guys, Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, is in the cool wave
getting
for
ready
August.
to bright, baby. I've walked all summer to appreciate the fall.
You know what I think I'm going to start? And you're invited if you want, because you can go free on my tab.
What?
A Burke Lake walk once a week. 3 miles.
Really?
I don't know. And that when the fall, I can watch the whole fall.
I'll do it on a Tuesday?
Friday.
Friday?
I don't know, like a
Before or
nice
after
way
the
to
Olive
end
Garden?
the...
Before or after the Olive Garden?
Shit, I forgot about Olive Garden. That'll take me to my knees.
Maybe a Sunday?
Maybe a Sunday. A little chill.
Yeah, because it's not
morning.
free for me to go because I don't live in this county.
You have to go on my tab. Well then the cameras have spoken. Let's move along here.
Okay.
But that's something to consider. I think it's an important thing, especially when we talk about metrics, content, marketing. It's like, I'm doing everything and none of it's working.
Yeah.
We have 8,500 people on the newsletter list. Only 6,000 of those reach inboxes.
Yeah.
Only 2,500 are opened, and the click-through rate's even less than that, but there is a click-through rate.
And you know what? If we never started that, there would be 0.
Right. And that would be a lot more frustrating. And then it's just time in. Corey and I kind of find it fascinating. This is 5 years in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 years in.
But I said, what I want is for that baker who took the 2-year break to be able to come back to sugar cookie marketing when they unhang up their apron.
Yeah.
And find that content that they left that they liked is still here plus a couple years.
And there's this, someone did an entry question. We asked, what do you want to learn most when you join the group? Someone said, I have searched high and low for a group like this, and I could not find one until you happened to show up in my feed. I'm just so glad there's a space online for it, where it's 100% cookie marketing.
Yeah. And Corey and I said, you see these other groups and they're broad stroke and they let people post these funny things about baking content and ask baking questions. In my heart, my marketing heart, I'm like, oh, that content is so good. Oh, I'd love to have it here. But on the flip side, what we promise people is a niche marketing business focus. And I keep my word because that's what it is.
We're going to deliver.
And I think that when you go there and you're like, I really want some answers that actually get me to the end point, that's where you're going to go.
For sure.
At least that's what I hope you guys think.
Hopefully.
If you don't think that, though,
by golly, we're sorry.
So moving on, we're actually running the midsummer membership sale right now. If you're listening to this, it's Tuesday. You have until Sunday. I've got some memes popping off.
Yeah, you do. You had the funny one, Price is Right meme yesterday. I did giggle at that.
That was
hilarious.
Here's a great thing. That meme won't perform as well as a Broad Strokes meme. And
For sure.
I know that fully well because I went to your Dollar Transfer Club sign up. I love your laugh react, but I understand that meme's purpose was not for laugh reacts. Its metric was conversions.
Exactly.
So the Midsummer membership sale is a sale on all 5 of our memberships, plus the 2023 and 2024 cookie class kit. So everything we offer, typically we only run the sale once a year, and it's one day during the vending blending. I can't believe so many people are talking about the vending blending.
You open the door.
Well,
You
Flower
opened
Bakery,
the door.
she was like, hey, just want to let you know I'm in. I said, well, girl, I didn't expect it. So then I posted to the page. I was like, hey, got my first vending confirmation.
The people from last year were like, wow, they started so early. Maybe I missed
Oh, they were like, where did you? I didn't even get the email. And I was like, I haven't even sent it out.
I know.
But I got a lot of, we're cooking with fire here.
If you wanted to partake in the cookie college, the class kits before everything gets busy, so you actually get your money's worth, today is the day.
Someone wrote today. They said, hey, I accidentally signed up for the class kits because I thought that's what I wanted. I'm only going to do this stuff for 1 month. How do I get to the cookie college? Because I want to get everything you have to offer, and then I'm immediately going to cancel. And I said, girl, you're a smarty. You're a smarty warty. Because you're going to get in there. You're going to find the content. And if I can almost convince you to stick around because for an extra month, you're going to love the next month's private Facebook challenge we have, which is community groups.
It is.
So the cookiecollege.com or go to sugarcookiemarketing.com. Both of them will tell you about these sales. They're absolutely duplicated right now. It took me forever to do that. Watch my video. It did take me 50 years to make it.
You did good, kid.
And everything we offer on sale. So the Cookie College is typically $76. It's $68 right now. It's 10% off. But if you sign up for the year, it makes it 25% off.
A common question people will say, okay, so it's $68 this month. What is it next month? No, if you sign up for $68, it's $68 as long as you're a current member.
And that's what a lot of people like. They like to get in these sales. The next sale will run. It won't be until Black Friday, which is the almost last day of the second to last month of the year. I convinced Corey to let us run this midsummer membership sale. This is a slow time for bakers. I think getting them to sign up during Black Friday when they're heading into Christmas is a little bit of a hard pitch.
What is your sleeve doing?
I'm getting sweaty. I'm sweating through my clothes. That's why my sleeve is getting wet.
Is that a trend that I missed?
It's getting soaked in body odor and Dove from yesterday. But the cookiecollege.com, the cookie class kit's 50% off, so it's only $31.50. I actually don't run that sale during the vending blending.
You do not.
The digital downloads, 50% off, $5. The Baker's Business Basics, 50% off, $18. But it does get you a discount code to get that Cookie College at $68 whenever.
Yes.
And the $2 transfer club, $1.
Yeah, $1.
Now, if you want those 2023 and 2024 cookie class kits, which are archived, they're actually not in the class kits membership. The class kits membership is only the current year. But if you want those ones, you can either sign up for the Cookie College. That's at $68. It gets all of those. That's probably the best way to get it. But if you scroll to the bottom of either of those websites I just mentioned, you can buy those class kits a la carte for just $10, no membership.
Nice.
I had quite a few people capitalize on that. It's a fun way if you're like, oh, you know what? I just want to teach one class. I want to teach that class that they made 2 years ago. Just buy it, $10.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, those memberships are great. Now that Cookie College one comes with that private Facebook group, which a lot of people like. It comes with those freebie photos. It comes with the class kits, DIY kit photos. It comes with those class playlists that people like.
Comes with a private podcast, and
it's coming with a Shopify course at the end of this week. I told Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley from the group, also probably a proxy sister in regards.
Sure.
She was like, I would love that Shopify course. And I said, if I don't get the first module up by this Friday, I'll refund your last month's payment.
You better get it up by this Friday, girl.
Corey let me add this in the second week of August in the Cookie College Facebook group. Only condition is you have to be a member. We're giving away a Bosch mixer as a way to welcome our new roomies who signed up during
if the Vendy Blendy, you could win a Bosch, and you're one of 10,000 that could win. This, you would be
sub
one of
1,000.
Yeah.
Your odds of winning are much higher than the Vendy Blendy.
And one thing you're like, does Heather really send it? Heather will send it. Anything she says she's going to give away, she gives away.
Listen, I'm a woman of my word.
She's a woman of her word.
If anything, nobody can, as they lower me into the
I will say
colder,
that girl gave away just about $1 million Bosch mixers.
That girl said she was, and she did.
Yeah, she did. She does. She do.
Okay, moving on to our sponsors. Thank you to the sponsors for keeping this membership alive. We have the the STL Me About It.
I know, the STL Me About It is sponsored by Cookie Design Lab. If you want to make cookie cutters easily, you bought the bamboo printer, it's been in the box, you don't know what to do, this is what you do next.
I'm going to say this. In the Cookie College, I taught a course on the Bamboo A1 Mini. I purchased one. We assembled it together, and then I told them how to create a cutter using Cookie Design Lab. And somebody yesterday in the Cookie College was like, I'm not sure which one of you twins told me to get my Bamboo A1 Mini. I drug my butt and didn't put it together for 3 months. I put it together yesterday. and I am stoked. And she wants to print off this Labubu cutter.
I got a Labubu cutter in front of me that you guys have forced me to want to make. I'm a Beanie Baby collector through and through, not a Labubu.
What were we? Oh yeah, jelly cats.
Jelly cats are cute.
Okay. So we have the Cookie Design Lab. Use code TWINS for 15% off. But so one of these lucky people right now will have 7 days to claim their 1 month membership of Cookie Design Lab. Corey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one would you like to pick?
Because they put 5 holes in my stomach, I will choose number 5.
You've got fan mail. Hi, twins. Tell me about it. The Cookie My Logo collab. I don't do decorated sugar cookies. Mainly, I do drop cookies and Mexican pastries, but I was wondering if I could still participate if I use packaging to showcase the custom stuff I can do for businesses and then have the pastries color to fit the brand. I hope she did participate.
I hope you did.
Know.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I want to let everyone... This is a great question from Texas, and you are the winner of the STL Me About It segment this week. Email heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com to redeem that. Just give me the rest of your phone number. But what she's asking is, can you do the cookie collabs when you're not cookie based? Yes, as long as it falls within the parameters. Now, cookie a logo, she's like, I'm going to color these pastries. Is that enough close to the brand? Yeah, because the limitations of cookie cakes and pastry.
Yeah,
people.
Absolutely. Like if you have a box and you print their logo on the box, that still counts. So if you're doing the Main Street collab and you bring a box of drop cookies and you put, Cuppy Coffee on there as like it's a gift for them, and their logo to showcase what you could do for local business, it totally counts. I know it's harder for folks like you. You could always put a wafer paper on something if you want.
Yeah. And so she says, she ends here. She's like, I completely understand if it wasn't fitting for the thing, but I wanted to ask. The last collab was so fun, and I highly recommend anyone listening to participate. Kelsey from Texas.
Nice, Kels.
So, Kels, sorry I missed that. Hope you did, but you should do the Main Street collab.
Yeah. You can be just as unique in that as you are talking about. What are you reading? Dead air.
This one, there is a typo here, I think.
Okay.
So this isn't a winner, but my 514, which is pretty sounds. Where do you think 514?
514 is not us. We're 540.
I know, but it feels close. Where do you think?
Let's say Montana.
It is Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Oh no way!
I'm going to just read it. Montreal. I think there might be a typo in or. My mistake. Glad everything went well with Corey. Heart emoji. Glad I won't the month of Cookie Design Lab.
Oh, I yeah.
But then it has a thinking face. So I think she's saying, if I won, glad I won.
Oh, I see.
The typo, though. That's because we're friends. We're through and through. Unfortunately for the Main Street Cookie Collab.
You did have some typos.
I did. I really have an issue.
Yeah.
With looking at Google Calendar for some reason. Because I think
Heather
Sunday.
I want to tell you, if you ask Heather to do something, she will manage to mess one thing up. It's just finding it.
It's just finding it. And when people find it, I'm just as shocked as you guys are. So the Main Street Cookie Collab is on a Thursday and not a Friday.
This is new. Thursday.
It's also at 11 and not 10. That's not new. I told you guys I was going to shift it so our West Coast friends
not
could
only
join.
did she shift it, she shafted it.
And I'll be posting reminders, however, it is not on a Friday. It is on a Thursday at 11.
It almost will be better on Thursday because Friday is my pickup day. So someone actually came to my house at 10 and she was telling me her life story. It took 15 minutes long. It
doesn't matter what time or day I choose. One of you is going to email me that you can't participate because something is going on that day.
But when you have so many bakers participating.
We had 200 in the first collab, which is the easier collab, the selfie.
Yes.
The second one, we had about 80 to 100 bakers.
I saw. I counted.
Main Street collab will be one of the, now we're
it's going to be a lot harder.
But if I got 50 bakers.
This one is going to be the best for your business.
This is the best for your business. That's why I always kind of pressure people to that. So anyways, it's on Thursday, August 28th.
Thursday, August 28th. You got a whole month. A whole month.
Okay, here's the last question. I'll read this one. On a recent podcast, you spoke about ways to attract a local audience. And sacrifice following numbers for more cash in your pocket. So funny. That was
it's almost like
today's
this
podcast. I looked through the Mixing Bowl Instagram account for some of your examples going to local restaurants, but only saw cookie examples. Did I misunderstand your messaging?
Girl, I already sacrificed my Instagram.
I tried to post a reel about a local restaurant or event on my page, and that reel is all about them with rarely a reference to my cupcake business. Am I doing this wrong? Here's my link. It's Deb again. I think it's the Deb that always wins. And FYI, I'd love to sign up for your review. I don't know what that one is. I think you mentioned this too on your podcast. I'll have to look on my Facebook page. Thanks for all your excellent advice. It's because of the two of you that I take leaps of faith when I'm scared and I'm holding my breath. Okay, what she's asking is, where is the Main Street Cookie Collab on your profile?
Yeah, Deb, great question. I actually gave my, when Heather once said my mixing bowl cookie company on my Instagram, she got me a lot of bakers that followed me. So I said, you know what? I got it. That's my secondary source of leads because there are so many bakers on there that you're not going to see me creating a lot of local content.
It's a great example of what happens when you do
Absolutely.
And Corey didn't do the follow trains. I do use her social media profile. I ask her permission first as examples in the newsletter and tell people to go click to look.
And people do click to look and they tend to follow. So that Instagram, I did say, you know what, that's just for the bakers. And it's just a great portfolio for me to send to my clients. You'll find that in my local groups, I'm posting that same kind of content. But local.
Like Corey posted a whole review about her cancer doctor because she recommended the doctor to
There's a farmer's market I love to go to.
Yeah.
You'll find that on my
Corey's
Facebook
making us go
page.
pumpkin picking. Don't have to tell me twice.
We're going horseback riding.
That was a wild one.
Yes.
You are going to regret it because you haven't been horseback riding as an adult, and I have.
I know.
Okay, but you got to get out of your system.
Yeah.
So that is a great question. Thanks for fact checking us. But yeah, Corey has a bunch of you guys following her because you guys said, I'm not going to listen to what Heather said. I'm going to follow her, which is fine.
That's okay. I love you guys.
I do the content. But yeah, Corey's Instagram isn't local. Although I did go through your Facebook yesterday. I was trying to find a picture. Mm-hmm. And I liked when you posted the hyper local Dale City Farmers Market.
Yeah. That one I'm following my words tried and true.
In your Facebook page. Don't go follow that, people. You're going to mess it up over there. Not mess it up, but you get the points.
If you follow it, just pretend to be a local and give me a like, a little comment, you know.
The comments are always, where did you get that? Do you hate that or you like it?
No, they're a lot less than they used to be.
That's
like good. Some people will be like, why are you charging for that? I don't want to say that.
Buy from me. Here's a but yeah, something to keep in mind. I think you're going to post, though, to your Instagram, the Main Street Club.
Oh,
it is
1,000%.
Instagram. You're going to do that on a Thursday at 11 and not a Friday at 10.
Yes.
But that is a great question, Deb. But yeah, I would, Deb, if I was you, I would keep doing. Remember, you made one reel about that local restaurant. Keep testing that content.
Because you have to realize, if that's the first time you do it, your audience is like, oh, shoot, this is new content. How do we react to it? You got to keep going because you need to make that new content normal, one of your content buckets.
I think we turn around our content buckets like aircraft carriers. It takes a long time of consistently holding the wheel to the left.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think sometimes we're like, that one didn't do well, so I'll never, ever do it again. In fact, I'm going to go to the sugar cookie market and tell everybody else not to do it. I'm going to say it never works, and I'm going to use what do you call it when you say never always?
A definitive statement?
I'm going to use a definitive statement, so nobody can question me ever. That takes us through if you guys want to win a month in the Cookie Design Lab, I really do like the software. It's to make cookie cutter STL
Did you use
files.
it for this?
No, I actually bought that on Etsy.
Oh yeah,
right.
Just print it. This Labubu, sorry. You can't see it.
If you guys are on YouTube and you can't see Corey because your camera turned off because it's so hot here in the DMV. You can text in at 571-556-5644. And thanks for texting in. It does make this more interesting.
It does. Appreciate everyone who does it.
So that's our first sponsor. Our second sponsor is Eddie, the edible food printer. Now, Eddie is a direct food printer. Corey, when was your last time using Eddie?
Last Friday.
What did you do?
So this lady wanted, God bless, Laurel Ann. Laurel Ann was going to be piped in gold. But God bless... Thank God. God bless. It didn't have to be. It was like supposed to be in a little marker. But I said, you know what? Eddie could actually do that so much better and more cohesive. Save me a lot of time.
You could go find Cookie Design Lab on Instagram. And they got a Freddie yesterday. And she's going to make content about it. She was asking me for a microphone recommendation.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And speaking of content buckets, now Cookie Design Lab lady, she's actually local to us. She's a local baker.
Yeah.
But that Cookie Design Lab is selling to bakers, so she's making content buckets.
For bakers. But what is Eddie? Eddie's brother is named Freddie, and he is frosting 2 cookies. So he actually can pipe on royal icing onto cookies. Only 4 people have gotten him so far, from what I hear.
Well, she just got one, so I wonder if they sent out some
Maybe
more.
it's 5 or 6. Okay. They're still just going down this list. But if you want to see Freddie in action...
I would say go find Cookie Design.
Someone in the college got it, and I saw it. It was crazy looking.
I was hoping she'd post more content.
I know.
We have Baking Me Crazy. Use code favorite twin to save 10%. Baking Me Crazy is also back for the Vendy Blending too.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna boot up Vendy Blendy stuff in late August.
Yes.
Early September. But Baking Me Crazy is sponsored Royal Batch. Use code twin to save 10% off. It is a meringue powder by Bakety Bake. I said that to
while
Ashley.
I was on my mend, I went and looked at her website. She does have the glazed version, which is vegan, on her website.
Did you try that? Did you order it?
No, I didn't order it. Should I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've never
Run
worked
me a
with
test,
it. I
little
never
baking
worked with
content
it.
creator.
Okay.
Let's see. Daisy Makes is another sponsor. It's everything. Well, Corey actually really likes it because she had her cake pops were crying at the beginning and now they're not.
Yeah, no, I actually ordered some. They just arrived. I'll make a video.
Okay, Daisy Makes. So you can go to daisymakes.com for that. And then, not technically a sponsor, but Bosch Nutrimil. If you use code Sugar Cookies at checkout, you save $20.
I love my boys. They love me boys.
Which we'll be giving away in the cookie college. All you have to do is join. Might as well join at a cheaper price by Sunday. And then within those 30 days, you'll be entered to win a Bosch mixer.
Do you have a twinterest, twin?
My life is a slew of interesting things.
things.
What was interesting? Oh, here, you guys, brace yourselves. Bath and Body Works has brought fall leaves.
Okay, me and Heather, we have been planning all year for this.
They said, Corey, what the debacle you see, what the just...
me and Heather were sitting on the ground at Bath and Body Works comparing which ones were going with home with us.
I said, what's going to happen is you're going to watch me walk up to the checkout with an ungodly amount of fall leaves, 3 wood candles. And Sunday passed was the last day for the $12.95, which is the cheapest I ever found.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So we asked the lady, because you got to do your market research. And I said, if I don't buy enough candles today, am I out? Is this some weird like summer ween thing you're doing?
Yeah.
She's like, no, this is our early fall launch. And
But there's more that are coming.
She's like, and some that are here in the fall launch won't be the whole fall, but the standard operating procedure is fall leaves.
Yeah.
It will be
Yeah.
here.
So I actually have been burning. It's like pumpkin caramel frappe, I think.
That was a little sweet.
No,
for
it
me.
was great. It's muted.
Okay,
I
Corey
love
and I
caramel.
have
though.
this thing. Like, she likes more of the sweet.
I like vanilla.
Gourmand.
Yeah, I like.
I'm a clovey girl. Give me
Heather
a little
likes a little
burn.
spice.
I want a little cinnamon, a little clove. Autumn Leaves is that cinnamon thing. So
Yes.
I like those ones. I'm going to burn them for
and
the
then you
rest of
did
the
pumpkin
year.
cloves.
That was by far. Oh, no. Pumpkin Bonfire was the biggest favorite of the family.
Yeah.
So anyways, those will be at Bath & Body Works for the remainder of the fall. But once they're out for Christmas, you don't see them again. But I mean, I say that and it's still July.
Yeah. My twinterest is I started decorating for Halloween.
You know what?
Oh,
Here's my thing.
excited. What?
They said there's a high pressure system over the Atlantic.
Okay. Love it.
The low pressure Arctic air is being pushed so far north by this high pressure system. It's moving all this moisture. That's what's happened since June 15th. They said, truly, if you feel like this has been a different summer than all the others, it has.
I also heard that the corn crops are
Where did I hear
filled
that too?
with dew.
The effervescence of the corn.
The corn in the Midwest has made it super moist over
Midwest,
here.
get your corn,
Get
water
your
air
corn,
out of
cut
my...
that corn, get the corn on my table.
I want to tell you, you can't keep your car washed in this area.
Holy, I wake up, it's as wet as what can be.
However,
On.
not this, like they said, starting
You said
Friday.
first week of August.
Starting Friday
That's
now.
first
That's
week.
first week of August. It will be a cool, let me check.
A cool what?
75.
No way.
75, okay, but it's just a little taste test because it goes back to 80, but it definitely doesn't go back to 95. Now, let me go to my AccuWeather, which I know, guys, I know it's just a projection. If I go to AccuWeather, I go daily in the top right corner, you do 45 days. Gotta sit for an ad because I didn't pay for this app. 3, 2, 1. Where's the X button? Okay. August 3rd through the 9th, which is the day after the Midsummer Membership
That's
Sale.
next Monday.
Don't be left out in the cold. 77.
77?
The weekend's at 86. Are we mad?
I can't complain.
I can't complain. The next week, it does touch 90 once, but the rest of it is low 80s.
Low 80s or high 80s?
There's 2 high 80s I'm hiding in there. I don't want you to be sad. The next week after that, so we're talking that the 3rd full week of August,
Okay.
low 80s only.
That's back to school days right there.
The last week of August, there are no 80s.
No
I lie not.
way.
Although in September it looks maybe a little lazy, but Gail said those will be cool 80s.
Cool 80. Any
80s.
like right now we're at 96. Okay.
I'm so sorry. On Saturday, as I was sitting outside
Yeah.
on the Solomon Bay,
Yeah.
it was a real feel of 110.
I went on a walk I don't sweat.
I'm sorry, you didn't go on a walk. You swam on a walk.
Oh, I was dripping.
You know, it's not for me. This is too hot.
That's why I'm putting a Halloween up, because I'm willing it.
And I'm here for it. I'm usually one to say no, but I'm over this.
My husband's like, what do you think your customers are going to say when they see bats on the wall?
So that takes us through. I have sweated through my clothes. One camera's already retired early.
Yes.
Do you have anything else to add at all?
Get those checkups, girls. Get those checkups.
I was gonna say get them candles, girls.
Oh, get the candles and the checkups. You're gonna need the candle after the checkup, a little you time after there.
And just burn it, baby, burn.
Burn, babe.
If you're not big into candle burning, my mom, my grandma, my mom, my aunt all got candle melters, and they fit the 3 wicks. They got them on Amazon. Not a bad way.
I do like to see a little flame,
a flicker, a little flick. A little
yeah,
flick.
yeah.
But if you have a cattail headed towards it, I get the hesitation.
My candles are on top of the piano. Nobody can reach up.
I shut my door when I burn my candle, so Munch can't even.
Caught.
Corey's calling him Dennis the Menace now.
He's a little Dennis-y, the Menacey.
Yeah, I gotta pack it.
I think Jason's telling us he had the baby.
No way.
He's typing right now.
Our cousin is having his first baby today or tomorrow.
But
they weren't supposed to check into the hospital until 7 at night.
What if she went into just labor?
He's gonna tell you his cat used a litter box.
I know. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Enough family talk.